Hello everyone and welcome for another video of Love and Wargames. In this video we are going to talk about the newest faction for Conquest, the Last Argument of Kings, and Conquest First Blood, which are the Yoroni. And I'm very excited for this faction because it is going to bring a lot of new players into the games. I am sure, maybe you, because just in our little French Parisian community, lots of people that had their own restrictions about coming to Conquest had these restrictions lifted because of this faction, which solves a lot of problems. Basically, okay, on the stylish point of view, as you can see, they have a very interesting and beautiful style, like art direction, which is basically monsters come from the Japanese mythology. So lots of like simplification, but very nice looking monster that come straight from Asian and specifically Japanese mythology, which is interesting and, as you can see, like quite different to what we have not only in Conquest but in any other war game. So that's the first point that makes people come to Conquest. And second of all, most often what I hear is like, I don't want another regiment game, or I don't want to any regiment games. I don't want to paint 100, 150 miniatures of soldiers line after line of infantry, which I can hear. I love my lines of infantry, but I can hear that it's a difficult prospect, this painting. And the Yoronis solve this by being a faction only composed of brutes. So instead of having 12 miniatures at the minimum for three stands, you have three miniatures. So yes, they're a little bit bigger, like let's say they are ogre size, like to give you an example, but you have four times less miniatures to paint. And this is a very good thing for many players, and I can absolutely see why you would like that. Last thing before we start to have a look more that I want to say is that this is not going to be a deep dive. We are going to receive, according to Parabellum, the starter set, and when we receive it, I will talk a bit more about who they are, how they're linked to the elemental plane and the sorcerer kings, and even the 100 kingdoms in many ways. Like, we will make a lore deep dive, and of course, we will go more in detail about how to play them, what to build, etc., etc. But since they've just been announced, about a week ago now, I just wanted for the newer players here that are getting excited and maybe interested in Conquest to at least have a look and know what type of units are coming, what they look like, and globally what each of them will do, even if it's not a deep dive, so that if you're interested, well, you can already start to pre-order them if you would like. So before anything, like, there is a link on Parabellum about their fluff and everything, and look at this art direction, like, it's brilliant. How do they place? They are your good old elite brawler army, and this is quite interesting. There is something about the elements where you need to have some characters belonging to a type, like to an ideal, and then you unlock some capacities a little bit, let's say a little bit like the chant of the wood runes, let's say, or like, yeah, it's not exactly the same, but or maybe a little bit like the elements of the sorcerer kings. Well, anyway, it's a new concept, and there is a whole list building thing, but you don't have many units, you don't have many miniatures, so they are really elite, and thus you have a lot of complexity, not in how many units you can have and the scale of the units and everything, but more like in how you will put them around and how you can optimize them at the list building phase. So it is really going to be interesting, but you need to enjoy, first of all, the fact that they are very unique, elite, the fact that they are brutes, and the fact that they are not a super combo, like very complex army. Like, as they say somewhere, they are no nonsense force that just goes forward. You need to play them well, but they are purpose made, I believe, for beginners and people that don't know Conquest. So if you recognize yourself in there, let's take a look at what is available. So as you can see, those are the pre-orders, and there is a lot. Like, there is how many? There are 13 different units that you can buy. Like, as you can see, there are some different variants of the kitsunes, for example. So of course you don't need to buy all of them. Those are dual kits, for example. So of course you want only one of those. But let's start with the two main boxes that are purpose made for the beginners: the two-player starter set and the first blood cohort. The two-player starter set is going to include some Yoronis and some wood runes. You have the quaddle right there for the wood runes that we have unboxed recently. There is a whole tactica and everything. You can have a look on our recent videos for this. You're also going to get for the wood runes 3 raptor riders and 3 packs of those hunting packs. So that is already a good force. You will need to play this to use the quaddle as a wing lord predator, but for basically 100 years, that is a very good deal. I mean, just the quaddle, if I take a look, how much is the quaddle? It's $130. So if you divide it like your woodwind player, you pay your quaddle cheaper, and you get this for free, this for free. You just need to find a Yoroni to pay. Like the discount is insane, and I hope you didn't buy your quaddle yet, because damn, this is the way to get your quaddles for sure. The, how the discounts are so good, like impressive, very impressive. Now, what do we get on the side of the Yoronis? You have a daimyo, which is the leader, the guy that you can see here. You also get the tengus. Tengus are like the little birds, like probably if you played Guild Wars, you know what a tengu is. And then you have two kamis and two onis. So if I am not mistaken, the kamis are those. It doesn't kami means god or something. I forget. I learned Japanese a long time ago, and I gave up basically. And you also have the Onis there, which are supposed to be demons. So here they are, and you got all of this. So basically 10 brutes, 3, 6, 9, 10. For again, 100 euros. And brutes are big. Like, I don't know if you've seen our battle reports and everything, but brutes are like very large miniatures. So having 10 of them for 100 euros, it's like 10 years of miniatures. For the size that they are, it's insane. Like, if you are 40k players, they're going to be about the size of a dreadnought, if I'm not exaggerating too much. But yeah, they are absolutely massive. So you get those guys, and I offer to you that we make a very quick drop on the Parabellum army builder to have a look what those guys are. So you get a daimyo. What does he get? 7 wounds, already quite significant. We are looking only at last arguments of king for now. 7 wounds, significant, but it's a brute. Defense 3, evasion 2, actually, and resolve 4. So it's tough. He's very tough. He is kind of like, this is the type of power, like the element that he has, the ideal, but we're not going to go too much in detail. We'll just have a look at the basic things. Resolve 4 as well. 6 attacks at Clash 4. I mean, this guy can take on basically a Holdrer, like head on. Like, he goes to the Holdrer and he's like, okay, you know what? I deal with you. Which makes sense when you consider that he's basically a giant, golem-sized Japanese warlord, a demon. So of course it's going to be efficient, but damn, those are impressive stat lines. He has Cleave 2. Oh my god, I didn't see that. 6 attack, Clash 4, Cleave 2. This guy is going to kill anyone in a duel, and just in any unit, he's going to tear people apart for 110 points. What the hell? What the hell? It's good, it's good. Well, they said they were going to be elite. And he counts as 3 stands for the purpose of seizing objectives. Of course, why not? And impact 3, great. His supremacy ability, which you will have because it's going to be your only character if you only take the 2-player starter sets, is going to be Lord of Roaring Flames. And when you activate a regiment or a character with the Ka ideal, which again is what he has, you may replace the effect with the following. You gain Glorious Charge until the end of the round. Oh my god. So of course with your impact 3 you're going to be very happy. And this is always active. Okay, so you just basically, if he's your warlord, your K ability on all your K units, characters, regiments is going to be active and upgraded with Glorious Charge. Very good. And plus, when you activate it during a round, any regiment activated by this K benefits from the effect. So even your non-K unit benefit from Glorious Charge. And Glorious Charge basically means you gain your impact attack with Terrifying 1. So again, good bonus for the daimyo, and +1 clash characteristic. So you're gonna clash at Clash 5 because you can get +1 clash characteristic with this method. 3 impacts at Terrifying 1, Clash 5, so with the pack that he's gonna join, which is probably gonna be either the die, either the Modular Regiment, it is going to be efficient. And I'm sorry, Modular Regiment, oh my god. What are those? Okay, there is this. I didn't prepare the deep dive yet. Oh my god. Okay, this is extremely interesting. We're gonna do the deep dive later on, but I'm discovering this with you. You don't have to build like 3 Onis or 3 Tengus, etc. You can make a modular construction of units, and there is a whole laundry list of restrictions and everything about how it's gonna work. But basically, you can mix your units together, so they're not gonna look very much like an army, but more like just a gathering of different demons walking together. So they can look very eclectic next to each other, and I really love that. So overall, the daimyo, incredible unit for 110 points. I'll be honest, if you could play this guy without even any unit, just on its own, I think he could be good. But as a leader, he's even better. What a great unit. And it's supposed to be a dual kit, this guy, and you can build the Oyabun. the Oyabun, which is this one, which means that in the two-player starter set, you can either have this Japanese Lord or this very stylish demon. Is it a pipe that is? Oh my god, it's very, very cool. They didn't, do they even specify? Not really, but yeah, if it's a dual kit, for sure you will be able to have your Oyabun, which has another role, Chi. I think it's the defensive one, if I'm not mistaken. And you have exactly the same stat. You punch a little bit less hard. You have only Clash 4 and Cleave 1. Aye, still the same impact, but you have also powerful presence. You have forward force, which means you're going to have flank for your monster regiment. So basically, the unit that is in, you don't roll, they can automatically come on top of your usual reinforcements roll. Very good. And Quicksilver Strike, which means that when you make a duel, you make all your attacks first, and then the enemy, if he's still alive, can fight back. Actually, very interesting. So more of a duelist, but it's less of a raw brute than the daimyo, still the same point, and his special capacity is a Lord of the Eternal Mountain. Basically, when you activate a Chi unit, you gain Harden +1 and Oblivious. Oh my god, Oblivious gives you defensive, like morale-wise, like you lose half as much morale, and Harden +1. And when it's activated, okay, one turn everybody gets it. Harden +1. Okay, you don't have many activations, so probably you're gonna be able to use this quite early. And I mean, I'm a Dwagon player, you know, so Harden +1 is something that I love. And he has the same units. Okay, he's more survivable because he has Quicksilver Strike, which means that he's gonna be on the table earlier. He's gonna maybe survive his duel better because 6 attack Clash 3, technically Clash 4. You might kill a few support characters before they can even fight back. And he's more defensive. I do believe though that the daimyo might be a little bit stronger for the same points. If there were, maybe I'm mistaken, but I would prefer the Oyabun to be a little bit cheaper than the daimyo, one way or another. Okay, I wanted the video to be a bit short, but let's continue discovering this. And you also have, so we said, Tengus, Kamis, and Onis. So the Onis are indeed those types of demon, like very demony demons. Okay, how do they play? This is very cool. Okay, they are modular stands. So you can add one stand with another. So you can mix your Onis, your Kamis, and the different types of Tengus. Okay, but let's take a look then. What is one stand of Oni bringing you? 6 wounds. Okay, all right. Very, very good. Defense 3, resolve 3, so tough. It's Ka, so like a more like offensive oriented unit. 5 attacks at Clash 3, technically Clash 4 when you inspire, and Cleave 2 with Impact 2. Okay, so a big pack of Onis with your daimyo is gonna be an absolute threat on the charge, like always, because they have Ka. So it's gonna be Glorious Charge. You're gonna be charging at Clash 4, Terrifying 1 with a lot of impact if you add this to your daimyo. And Command Special Route, the regiment adds +1 to its attack characteristic and gains the Juggernaut special rule. Juggernaut, for a reminder, it allows you to charge at a fix like movement +5. This is a brute. Like, okay, 80 points per stand is very expensive because it's like 240 for 3 of those. So yes, they are extremely elite, but they are only medium, so they can come early. But damn, those guys, like, yes, I know they are not cavalries, but these guys can go and say hi to anything short of a Ashen Dawn cavalry, and even the Ashen Dawn are not gonna be happy at all when they see that. Wow, very impressive. I really love that they're basically extremely elite unit, like army for beginners, because you're only gonna have brutes. They're gonna be very elite, very modular. You can build them and paint them how you want, and okay, I don't like to compare everything to 40k, but they are basically custodes in the playstyle. Like each of them, every single one of them is an absolute brute. Okay, maybe the Oni are the most elite ones. Like these stat lines makes me quite afraid of facing them as a even as a Dwagon player. Damn, wow. We continue with the Kamis. Probably they're gonna have the Chi like defensive capabilities and go better with the Oyabun. Little spoiler, because they look very slow. They look almost Dwagomish. They look like a mix between a Steel Forged and an Iron Inferno Automata, like with a little mouth in the armor. So are they gonna be very defensive indeed? Yes, absolutely they are. Command Special Rule, okay. They're so tanky. Good lord. Okay, those guys, the Kamis, are indeed very much more defensive oriented. They have the Chi, so they can become hardened 1, okay? And they have basically the same stat lines-ish. They have trample though, which means that each stand of Kamis is gonna make 2 automatic hits on the enemy at the end of the activation. Very good. And the command special rule is something that you give to your whole regiment. I just checked in the meantime. While this stand of Kami is the leader. So you can make a mixed stand, yes, and you choose one of those mixed stands to be your leader, and it gives capacity. As we've seen, the previous one, it was +1 to attack and Juggernaut, if you want to make a very offensive oriented unit. And the Kami can get +1 defense and +1 to the evasion, which means that if you have your little Oyabun at the same time, your Kami Ayakashis are gonna be defense 4, resolve harden 1, resolve 3, 6 wounds, and just in case evasion 2, just in case. With 6 wounds apiece, it's gonna take a long while to deal with them. But again, they're extremely expensive, 80 points per stand, but you get a lot of versatility, and it's gonna take a long time to get them out of the battlefield. Then we get 2 types of Tengus, those birdmen. The Bushi, like doesn't mean warrior or something, and the Akumas, which I have no idea what it means, but I just know the Akuma from Street Fighter. I like that it's like all the Japanese words that Europeans and Western people know inside the army. So you have the Tengu Akuma Yoroni. What is the real name of this? Akuma or Ayakashi? I'm looking at the URL, that's why I'm like a little bit mixed. Okay, the real name is Ayakashi. I don't know where Akuma is coming from, but yeah, Ayakashi is the shooting one. Let's take a look first at the warrior, because we're looking at melee units so far. Still 5 wounds, defense 3, resolve 3. Okay, no, it's 1 wound less. 5 wound is still very good. 6 attacks, okay. They have the Fu, which is the mobility thing. Yeah, they're movement 7, impressive. They have a special capacity called Take Flight. Should the regiment be composed only of Tengus, okay, then you gain the fly capacity, which means you can march and charge over other units. So okay, the Tengus, there is a chance you want to only mix them with yourself, because fly is good. Like, it's a game of movement, Conquest, and being able to just fly around is insane. And if your commander is a Tengu Bushi, then you ignore enduring terrain on top of that, and you get Vanguard 4. So very good Skirmisher. 75 points, a bit cheaper. They do still have 6 attacks at Clash 3, so not nothing at all. And flawless strikes, oh wow. Which means that when you make a hit roll of 1, your target's defense is 0. This is extremely good against defense-oriented force, such as Dwegoms or some of the 100 Kingdoms. Like, the very tanky guys hate flawless strikes because it completely cancels what you pay for. Very good, those Tengu Bushis as well, okay. And the Ayakashis are gonna be the shooters. So only 4 wounds and 80 points, so very expensive, sure. 4 attacks in melee, yes. Clash 2, it's not insane, it's not great. They can fly around, which is very good for shooters, for sure. What do they get? Barrage 4 per guy, okay, so 4 shots per guy at 14 range, kind of like Fireforge. Armor piercing 1, alright, and Rapid Volley. Rapid Volley means that each hit roll of 1 causes an automatic hit on top. Okay, so it's not you get a second shot, it's you get a second hit. Okay, so you can really start to pile up the armor piercing 1 shots. Quite good, quite good. And if you have your commander, which is a Ayakashi, and I think you might want a pure shooty guy, shooty regiment, when you try to shoot at them with a volley action, they gain Tenacious 1. And on top of that, they also gain Vanguard 4. Okay, but yeah. How do you deal with them? If you charge them, they just fly behind their own troops, and when you shoot them, they gain Tenacious 1. Good that they are super expensive, all of them. I'm pretty sure they made some playtests at Parabellum, and they made sure that they're not OP, because when you read that, they're like so good, but 80 points per stand, it's very, like, it is expensive. Probably you pay for the versatility, and we will all need to play them on the table, but they are so elite and so powerful, like all of them. It's gonna be a nightmare to play against, and it's gonna be very fun to play with these guys. So okay, that's what you get in your 2-player starter sets. So a little bit of everything, and again, you get those guys and you can build them as you want. So probably, like, we will see when we receive the miniatures, like, I will make a more deep dive and I will really learn the rules, tell you what is the best options. But having 3 Kamis, 3 Onis, and 3 of those Tengus that maybe you will want to build as the shooty ones to begin, because it's something you don't get elsewhere, it's gonna be very good force. Okay, just made a quick calculation without any relic and everything. You already get with this 803 points, because it's 80 points per model. 720 plus the leader, 110. So it's you're almost already ready to play 4,000 points battle. And if you just remove one little guy from somewhere, depending on how you build, then you can play 750 very easily to discover the game. And you have like what, 10 miniatures? Very elite, but wow, like I discovered the rules with you guys, and I'm very impressed. And now I want to play those guys. Oh my god! I know we have some players that already say like, yeah, Dips, I will paint them and make some battle reports with you for the Love and Wargames channel. By the way, if you're not subscriber yet, subscribe so you don't miss any further Conquest battle reports. But now I'm a bit jealous. Like I want to play them as well. They look extremely fun. Beyond what you get in this two-player starter set, you can buy the First Blood cohort, and if they are smart, they will make sure that you can buy both of them, and yes, they are smart. So you get a Kitsune, so this little creature there, 3 more Kamis, which is good, 1 Oni somewhere, Oni Ayakashi, probably, yeah, this guy on the top, 3 Domaru Damashis, I guess it's those guys, flying, oh my god, like yeah, I saw them during the happy hour a little bit, like flying armor of samurai, super cool, and 1 Kappabushi, it's probably this, Kappa means turtle, I think. So yeah, you get this guy extra. Oh my god, it's very, very cool. So 11 miniatures for 100 euros. So if you don't have a friend with whom to share the wood runes, you can only get the First Blood cohort. But it's such a great discount for the wood runes as well. You can just buy it and just sell it on the internet or something. It's gonna go very fast. And yeah, you can absolutely buy this and that. And yeah, if you want to buy all of these, by the way, we have a code which is LOVE10. If you use this with Parabellum, first of all, with all of this, you're gonna have free delivery and you're gonna have 10% discounts, which is if you buy both and you go all in. For Conquest, it's going to be like $300, so it's going to be already $30 or 30 euros saved. And plus, we also get some percentage back for the channel, which makes us live, not live, but which pays for the pro painters we get to make the most beautiful miniatures and allows us to buy some terrain, etc. And everything. Everything is reinvested in the channel. So thank you very much if you do that. Now that we've said this and that both combo very well, let's have a look at the new unit that we didn't discover yet, the Kappabushi and the Domaru Damashi. Kappabushi looks like a character. Ah, no, it's not. Okay, the Kappabushi, it's also a modular stand. So you get only one of this. Very interesting. And what does it get? So 75 points, not that expensive. Defense 3, resolve 3, 6 wounds. Okay, so normal type. It has a Sui battlefield roll. Again, subscribe because we will make a full deep dive of all the capacities, the relics, everything that you need to know about the Yoronis when we receive the box to make a whole how to start with Yoronis video, so subscribe. But for now, we can see that he has 5 attacks with Flurry, but he's gonna be Clash 4 anyways, but Flurry is always nice. Impact 2, Cleave 1, so a good little fighter, this guy. Like, doesn't look much like this, but yeah, he is good. And his special capacity is that basically he can get the effect of any ideal card, regardless of the regiment's battlefield role. Okay, so even more versatility, but just 75 points for what he brings. It's always good, like plus Flurry as well. No, it's good. It's a good, cheap, like average, like extra firepower, like extra strength for your units. Very good. Then we get the Kitsune, which is this like fox lady. I think Kitsune means something related to fox somehow. And the artisan series, like the painting is amazing and the miniature itself is amazing as well. I mean, this might be one of the most beautiful miniatures I've ever seen for any wargame. Just look at it. It's a piece of art at this point. Okay, we need to take a look at what she does. There is this limited edition, which you can basically proxy as anything because it's, yeah, count as either. So, okay, all right. We'll see what it does. It's $65, so yeah, quite impressive. Like a little bit less than 60 if you use the Love 10 code, but still, it's pricey. But if you just want the basic unit, either you take the First Blood cohort, or you can get it here for $30, so 27 with the discount. And yeah, she's gonna be easier to paint for sure. And basically the head changed. One of them is with more like a priestess, the Onmoye, and the Bakasu is more like a fighter, like a harpy girl. Okay. This is probably, yes, it is a character. So the Bakasu, this one we said it was the harpy one, has 8 attacks. Okay, I'm sorry, the first thing I see, 8 attacks for the character at Clash 4. But yes, with the Deadly Blades. Oh my god, Deadly Blades is like, if the enemy makes a defense roll of 6, and statistically it will make at least 1, because you make so many attacks, it will get 2 wounds. Yeah, with Clash 4, my god, she's just a whirlwind of attack. Impact 3. Powerful presence still, because you don't have many units, you need to be able to contest the objectives. And she has the Modular Regiment or the Domaru Damashis, which are those flying samurai armor, plus those Daiyoki Genya no Yokai. Well, we'll see what they are later when they are being released. So many attacks, okay. What does she have? 6 wounds, so 1 less than the Daimyo, for example. Defense 3, still. Evasion 2, Resolve 4, so... Like, I thought she was gonna be super fragile, but not at all. Like, this Harpy can make a lot of damage. And what is her supremacy? Mistress of Azure Gales. So basically, those with the full ideal gain the bonus of you gain fluid formation. Fluid formation, really? Fluid, great. And if you activate it, everybody gets it. Fluid formation is one of the very, very strong rule of the game. Again, allowing you to make a free reform before you charge, after you charge. It gives you like basically unprecedented mobility for the entire thing. And getting this for everyone with full, like wow, I'm very impressed with this unit, with this whole army as a whole. Like it looks very elite, but very fun to play. And for the one that looks more like a mistress, she has the Sui battlefield role, which was the same one as the Kappa, the little turtle. She's the shooty one. Okay. So she has only 6 wounds. Defense, the same stat line of defense and resolve. 5 attacks still at Clash 2. Okay, sure. And volley 3. By the way, I just realized I didn't tell you the right number of volley for the Tengu Ayakashis are volley 3, not volley 2. I made a little mistake in reading this. But still, the Kitsune has this capacity, same mainstay, same restricted, okay. She has spells, she did look like a spellcaster, indeed. First of all, the firepower is not nothing, like Barrage 3 at 14 of range. You can put her in a pack of Tengu Ayakashis if you want a big shooty unit, but unfortunately she will remove their capacity of flying, except if one of her spells allows her to fly. Let's have a look. Blossom in the Wind, maybe it's gonna be this. Nope. This allows you to target an enemy and you can only make a maximum of 2 actions, but you always can only do 2 actions. Okay, it's for those that can make a triple activation or free reform, etc. Okay, not amazing. Iron Soul, you gain Unyielding. Okay, that's already much better for your own regiment. Hesitation, Bane of Deed, which is a very, very cool name to put on this, is going to make you gain Tenacious 2 for a regiment that you target if they get shot at. Tenacious 2 is nothing to scoff at, like at all, especially if your enemy has a lot of shooting. For example, if you're playing against some Dwegoms list, very good. And Misery of Failure and Vision, write these names, it's very cool. You target enemy, -1 to the resolve, always good. So okay, she is a good buffer slash debuffer priest, very well. And she has Deadly Shot as well, as we have seen. Okay, good support character. We mostly take her for the supremacy, I think. I don't know, the previous one had a great supremacy with fluid formation. This one, what is it gonna be? Someone with a Sui ideal can make a free out-of-sequence spellcasting action as if it were a spellcaster. Either Blossom in the Wind or Misery of Failure. Excuse me, what? That is insane. Every Sui unit may immediately, when it activates, make a free Blossom in the Wind or Misery of Failure, which we said was, oh, it's not so great, like you can block someone with maximum 2 actions, or -1 resolve. That is insane. Everybody casting -1 resolve around automatically successful. That's too strong. Wow. Wow. Okay, so if you have random situation, a unit with triple activation, you can really ruin their day. And if not, doesn't matter, anybody with the Sui capacity can just give a whole range of -1 resolve, which is incredible. Insane. And this gives you a really good idea of why you should put the Kappabushi. I need to read the rules better, but if he gives the Sui role to its regiment, it can mean it's a very good leader, a very good addition to your modular regiments. Wow. And finally, another mainstay that she had was the Domaru Damashi unit, so those flying armors. Defense 2, evasion 1. Oh wow, very glass cannon, but 140 points, very cheap. They are light units, so they come very early, and they are mou. It's fun to say when you speak French. 4 attacks, Clash 2. Okay, what special? Well, they are cheap, like, but they cannot take control of objectives. But okay, they're gonna be your kind of like skirmishers, holding the lines while your mediums arrive. Unstoppable is very good, rerolling failed charge, especially when you have movement 6, so they can really impact what they want. And okay, they're not insane. Defense 2, resolve 3 is good, but defense 2, evasion 1 is meh, especially when you have 4 wounds. But they're not that expensive, they are very mobile. And 4 attacks clash 2 with impact 2, it's fine. They are indeed your skirmishers, and they will hunt your enemies' archers, like the, I don't know, peasant bowmen, your hold ballistae, like even the Nords or raiders and stuff. They will be able to come very fast, charge them from far away, especially with a free reroll of the charges, and just hunt down the enemies very well. And I just saw that we have some pictures of the kappas, and I consider them even better now because they have the Sui special rule, and well, they will be able to bring their spells around for free with the right Kitsune leading them. So many cool things to do with this faction. We didn't miss anyone from the first wave, nope. There are lots of more units that we have seen, either artworks, either models coming soon. It's gonna be very interesting. But the video is long enough already. I just wanted you to have an overview of what is available, and yeah, basically, like, there is no better way to start than the 2-player starter set. If you want, add the first blood cohort, or just take the first blood cohort if you are not confident of selling the wood runes very fast, even though the discount is insane. Like for the wood runes, like, I'm still shocked of how much. And is it a huge discount for the Yoronis players as well? You have the daimyo 30, 50, 50, 50. My god. So you have almost 50% discounts. Like, you pay $100 for this, for the 2-player starter set Yoroni part, instead of 180. If you add this, the 10% of Love 10, it starts to be an incredible deal. Like, okay, I'm very happy that they make a new army, but they have this extremely good package that you can buy once, you can even buy twice, to really have for very cheap. At some point, like when you had the Love 10 discount, it's going to be like minus 50% from the normal retail price. And yeah, you can really have this. And both of those guys can really combine very well. The first blood cohort, this is going to be a little bit harder to calculate because you have only one Oni on only one Kappa and only 2 Tengus, but it's still very good. Impressive. Okay, nothing else to say then. Wow, I'm very excited for this faction. Not for myself, even though they look very fun to play, but also because I know that they will bring a lot of new players, because damn, they few miniatures, massive miniatures. It doesn't have this feeling of making a whole massive army. The style is very cool, they are very elite, and they just seem easy and fun to play, with a lot of replayability between these different ideals that you can mix. Very excited to receive them, probably at the end of March, and we'll make right away an unboxing, a full Tactica deep dive, and it's going to be a whole how to start Conquest with the Yoronis video. So subscribe, give us a comment as well, because, well, first of all, let us know if you are excited about the Yoronis, and you have a chance every time you type a comment on a video to, like, you gain a ticket and you gain a chance to win an entire Duegom army. We posted the video some weeks ago if you want to take a look at what you can win. And yeah, we'll make this summer the little live video where we will randomly choose a winner, and there's going to be another winner as well that's going to win a Dystopian Wars Armada. Okay, I think we've said everything. I hope the video is not going to be too long. If you're still there, give us a thumbs up, all the YouTube things, subscribe, comment, so you can win something. And thank you very much for having watched until the end. And also, until the next video, guys, take care of yourself, and remember to keep things fair in love and war games. Bye!